Have you ever wondered why two people can earn the exact same income, yet one builds incredible wealth while the other is constantly broke? Or why some people stay completely calm during a financial storm, while others panic at the smallest dip in the market? Here's a secret. It's not about intelligence. It's not about luck. It's all about psychology. Because money, at its core, isn't just numbers and spreadsheets. It's a swirling mix of emotions, habits, and the stories we tell ourselves every single day. In this video, we are going to pull back the curtain on 5 hidden truths about the psychology of money that are silently shaping your financial destiny. And more importantly, we'll explore how you can master them to build real, lasting wealth and, maybe for the first time, genuine peace of mind. So, if you're ready to change your relationship with money forever, let's dive in. The first, and arguably most important, truth is that nearly every financial decision you make is emotional first and logical second. We all like to think we're rational beings, carefully weighing the pros and cons before we spend or invest. But the reality? Not so much. Just think about it for a second. Why do we splurge on things we absolutely don't need after a stressful day at work? That's emotion, seeking comfort. Why do we get that knot in our stomach and panic sell stocks the moment the market gets a little shaky? That's emotion, fear taking over. Why do we feel a secret twinge of envy and then buy something to keep up with a friend? Pride, jealousy, even guilt. These feelings are the puppet masters pulling the strings of our financial lives. There's a fascinating study that shows when people just imagine losing money, the part of their brain that lights up is the exact same region that registers physical pain. This explains why losing $100 feels so much worse than the joy you get from gaining $100. Our brains are hardwired to avoid that pain, which can lead to incredibly irrational choices. So, what's the solution? It's simpler than you think. Learn to observe your emotions before you react. The next time you're about to make a significant money move, just pause. Take a breath and ask yourself, wait a minute. Is this fear talking? Is this excitement? Or is this sound clear-headed reason? The moment you can create a small gap between the feeling and the action, you regain control. And believe me, that control compounds faster and more powerfully than any interest rate ever could. Now for the second hidden truth. What you see is almost never what you get. We've all been there. You see someone cruising by in a brand new luxury car or scrolling through Instagram posts from a lavish vacation, and you think, wow, they must be so rich. But that shiny car, or those exotic photos only tell you one thing for certain. They spent money. It tells you nothing about how much money they have. Real wealth is often completely invisible. It's the money that's sitting quietly in an investment account, growing in the background. It's the paid-off mortgage. It's the financial freedom to say no to a job you hate or an opportunity that doesn't align with your values. It's the peace of mind that comes from having a solid safety net, not from having the latest gadget. So many people fall into the trap of chasing the image of success instead of its actual substance. But here's the hard truth. Every single dollar you spend trying to look rich is one less dollar you have to actually become rich. It's an endless, expensive performance. So the next time you see someone flashing their extravagant lifestyle online, just gently remind yourself, true wealth doesn't need to shout. It whispers. Focus on building your own silent, invisible fortune, and you'll find a level of security that no luxury item can ever provide. This brings us perfectly to our third truth, and it's a dangerous trap so many of us fall into, never feeling like you have enough. It's a phenomenon called the hedonic treadmill. You get a raise, so you upgrade your lifestyle. You hit a savings goal, so you immediately double it. Life becomes this endless race on a treadmill where you're constantly running, but the finish line just keeps moving further away. You're never really getting anywhere. There's a fantastic story about a hedge fund manager talking to a famous author at a party. The manager, feeling proud, bragged, "You know, I probably made more money just last week than you'll make from all your books in your entire lifetime." The writer just smiled calmly and replied, "Maybe, but I have something that you will never have." The manager was intrigued. "What's that?" The writer said simply, "Enough." That one single word, enough, changes everything. The moment your desire for enough turns into a relentless craving for more, your peace of mind evaporates. Having ambitious goals is fantastic. We should all strive for growth, but wealth without a sense of contentment is just a fancier form of poverty. It's poverty with a nicer view. The key is to define what enough means for you, not for your neighbor, not for the influencers you see online, but for you. What does a rich life truly look like to you? Once you have that clarity, you'll discover that freedom doesn't always require millions in the bank. Sometimes it just requires knowing when to stop moving the goalposts. The fourth hidden truth is about our obsession with timing. Everyone wants to find the next big thing, time the market perfectly, or discover some shortcut to get rich quick. But the people who build enduring generational wealth don't chase timing, they respect time. Let's look at the master, Warren Buffett. Over 80% of his immense fortune was earned after he turned 50. Did he suddenly become a genius investor in his later years? No. He just stayed consistent. He started early and let the power of compounding work its slow, silent magic over decades. Compounding is the eighth wonder of the world, and it rewards patience, not perfection. It doesn't care if you're the smartest person in the room. It only cares that you show up, day after day, and stay in the game. And this principle doesn't just apply to investing. It applies to your savings habits, to learning a new skill, even to your health. The key is to start small, but stay incredibly steady. Let time become your greatest ally. As the saying goes, you don't have to be the smartest investor in the world, you just have to be the most patient one. Stop looking for the perfect moment and start embracing the power of the process. And finally, our fifth truth. Money is a mirror. Every single dollar you spend is a vote for the kind of life you want to live. It's a reflection of your deepest values. Think about it. If you say you value freedom, but you're constantly taking on debt to buy things that tie you down, your spending is telling a different story. If you say you value personal growth, are you investing in books, courses, and experiences that expand your mind? If you value peace and security, are you prioritizing saving and avoiding risky financial gambles? Your bank statement is often more honest about your priorities than your words are. So, instead of constantly asking yourself, how can I make more money? Start asking a much more powerful question. What kind of life do I truly want to build, and how can my money serve as a tool to create that vision? Because ultimately, the goal isn't just to have more money. The goal is to have money that supports a life with more meaning, more freedom, and more purpose. At the end of the day, mastering money has very little to do with mastering complex math or economic theories. It's about mastering yourself, your emotions, your impulses, and your ego. The truly rich people aren't always the ones with the biggest paychecks, but the ones with the clearest purpose for their lives and their money. So, if this video helped shift the way you think about wealth, even just a little bit, do me a favor and hit that like button, subscribe for more content that goes beyond the numbers, and share this with someone who you think needs to hear this message today. Remember, when you master your mind, you master your money. And when you master your money, you master your future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.